This is an RCA RBC-1 receiver. I've been working on this for the last couple of weeks. Had some real issues with the band selection switch. Somebody had been in there and really messed up the location of the contacts in the various RF boxes. Got the antenna box, RF amplifier 1, RF amplifier 2 and oscillator. And all these had to come out, and I had to disassemble part of the band change switch drive mechanism, which is a geared mechanism. And anyway, it's all working correctly now. While I was in there, I replaced some resistors and checked all the others, and the capacitors and everything was good. Apart from that, all I've really done so far is replace some tubes that were missing, and given the front panel a cosmetic once over, so it's looking a little smarter than it was. I replaced the plexiglass, the one that was in there, which I'm not sure was the original, may or may not have been the original one, was really discoloured. So it's now got a nice piece of perspex in there. And it's working reasonably well. I haven't done any realignment other than align the slug in the band 2 oscillator, because I had to repair that slug when I was in the RF box. Apart from that, it's as it was in terms of alignment. So I haven't touched the IF at all. And at the moment it's tuned to band 2, around about 10 megahertz. And I've got a signal Jenny working there on 10.047. And this is tuned to 10, so it's not too far out. So turn the volume up a little bit, give a tone on the signal Jenny there, and tune there. You'll see the S meter move. The BFO works. It's not quite right. I'll just turn the modulation off and switch it on to CW. Yeah, it's a little bit wobbly, so there could be something with that circuit, maybe a bad connection, or perhaps the little trimmer condenser, which is there. It's kind of cool. It works through a little bevel gear and inside the set. It's kind of neat. But that just might just need cleaning, or it could be a poor connection in the coil itself. This is the BFO unit here, but it works. So I haven't done anything with the IF at all, it's as it was. Selectivity works. This meter in the middle measures the audio output. It's kind of cool. It only works when it's on AM, so I'll put the modulation back on, and see that's now working. And the meter at this end just measures the plate voltage going into the set, which should be around 200 volts. I thought the set was drawing too much current earlier in the day, because I was looking at this triplet meter I had this connected, and I was reading the scale thinking it was on I don't know, I think it was 300 milliamp full scale deflection, and it was reading about 150 milliamps. Now that's kind of high. It should be about 75 or 70, 75. Then I realized that this is was set to 120 milliamps full scale deflection. So the actual current draw is being monitored at the moment on this DMM down here, and it's just over 60 milliamps plate current, which is great. It's drawing about 5 amps heater current, so the voltage on the heater terminals of the power supply down there is about 6.4 volts. Time it gets into the set here, through this fairly thinnish cable, just a piece of mains cable, it's just on 6 volts, which is fine. It's a little bit low, but I think it's okay. Anyway, the set is pretty sensitive. I say without any realignment, I can turn the attenuator right down. So it's 1 microvolt. And still receiving it really well. And it's functioning on all bands. The dial calibration is reasonably accurate. So anyway, I'll give it a tweak. It's the antenna trimmer is there. So it's good. It's really low noise because of all the excessive screening on the RF section, the tuning gang. All the different RF sections are all screened. So they're effectively double screened from each other. And there's so much care being taken with the grounding arrangements for everything. It's unsurprising. This is one of the quietest receivers of its period, 1942-ish, something like that. So there we go. This is RCA RBC-1. Got some other checks to do on it, a little bit more cleaning, I think, and then realignment. We'll do some voltage checks as well, just to see if there's any resistors out of spec. The ones I've checked have been reasonably within tolerance. As I say, I changed a few in the RF section because it's a pain to get in there. I might as well do it while I was in there, even though they were just on tolerance. One of them was way off tolerance, it was about 50% off, but the others are just outside of tolerance. Anyway, there we go. It's a very nice receiver, except it's big and it's heavy. And this was one of a pair. This is the RBC, and it matched up with an RBB and a huge power supply unit. So the entire receiver weighed a lot, over 200 pounds, I would think, with the cabinet and everything, probably more than that. As this set only covers 4 to 27 megs, I think. So you need the RBB set to cover the lower frequencies in the HF range. There you go.